Hello everyone, ARG back here with some more Franchise Hockey Manager 8, and today in the world of alternate universe current day Ottawa Senators hockey, we're gonna go ahead and play March of 2022. So some of those games have been played, well, the top two have been played so far this season in real life. They were both losses, and then today is March 5th. The Sens are playing in Arizona here in a few hours. So I am going to be predicting the score of that game. This is not a betting advice in any way, shape, or form. Alright, so we still have a couple injuries. Colin White, Alex Formanton still out. Scott Sabourin is hurt. It doesn't really affect the big team. Neither is Kessel Ring, which I've obtained in a trade for Josh Brown, and now he's hurt for almost the end of the season, or pretty much the end of the season. As far as the Sens go, we do have a winning record, but we are 11th in the East. I don't think we're going to be able to catch up to the Devils. They are 6 points ahead of us. We never know. If we have a crazy good month of March, who knows what might happen. I wouldn't count on it too much, but, we don't know. So that's why we play the games, folks. Alright, so first on the menu is going to be a pretty tough team, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now in real life, the Sens took a 2-0 lead into the first 4 minutes of the game, if I remember correctly. But then they allowed 5 unanswered and we lost 5-2. So Tampa Bay is 34-15-2. That's good for second in the East. And the trade deadline is behind us, so we're not going to be able to move anybody or anything like that. So we're going with the players we have. I'm kind of in a situation where I cannot really give up on playoffs completely, so I didn't want to completely blow up my lineup. So I wasn't super aggressive for this particular trade deadline. Things might change in the future, obviously, but because I still have an outside chance to make the playoffs, I wasn't super aggressive. Alright, so, well, let's get going, folks. Really? You're sitting Tim Stutzel? Okay. Gonna need to have a talk with our friend DJ Smith here. Alright, so to start the month, of course, we're on the road. Anton Forsberg is going to be in net in Tampa Bay. Andrei Vasilevsky is going to be in net for the Lightning. And of course, go Sens. Oh, I forgot to say we're 1-2 against the Lightning this season. Oh, we start the month with a win, a 6-3 win in Tampa Bay. So alternate universe Senators doing a better job than real life Sens. Of course, real life Sens for that game were without Josh Norris and Drake Batterson, among others. All right, we outshot Tampa Bay 31-27. Dylan Gambrell was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Brady Tkachuk was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Artem Zub was the third star with an assist. Alright, so Tampa Bay scored the first goal of the game, then Eric Brandstrom tied the game from Drake Batterson and Brady Tkachuk, tied at 1-1. Then in the second period, Dylan Gambrell scored from Eric Brandstrom and Connor Brown. It was 2-1 Ottawa after 2. Then in the third period, Adam Goddard scored from Tyler Ennis and Nicholas Camano. Then Josh Norris from Drake Batterson and Artem Zub. Then Victor Mete from Dylan Gambrell and Connor Brown. It was 5-1 at that point. Tampa Bay scored 2 goals, came to within 2. It was 5-3. And then Brady Tkachuk scored in an empty net with 17 seconds left to go in the game from Dylan Gambrell and Connor Brown. And it was a 6-3 victory here for the Ottawa Senators in Tampa Bay. But we lost Josh Norris to injury. I hope it is not for too long. 4 weeks. Yikes. with a strained shoulder. Well, funny enough, that's the type of injury that he had, you know, prior in real life. Josh Norris was out about a month with, you know, a shoulder injury as well. Those things that make you go, Alright. Then Nicolas Camano converts to left wing. Alright, that's cool. Alright, so we're gonna need to... Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and advance the day. Maybe there's somebody on waivers I can pick up or something. Alright. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Losing our first line center again. I believe that's the second time Josh Norris got hurt this season. Alright, Andrei Svechnikov has a memorable game. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Red Wings. A night to remember for Matthew Tkachuk, so Brady's brother in Calgary, had 3 goals and an assist as well. That was against the Wild. David Pasternak's point streak ended at 13 games. It was held scoreless against the Ducks. Eugene Melnick is satisfied with my work, including yesterday's win. We went 3-1. So yeah. Because in February we played so many games. Remember, folks, it was a perfect month. Alright, let's take care of the Josh Norris situation here. Right, who are we recalling? Maybe Sokolov. Yeah, I think I want Sokolov. Alright, so we got Sokolov up. Now we have a day off today, and then we're going to be playing in Florida against the Panthers. Now, that game was 2 days ago in real life. We didn't show up. We took 1,000,000 penalties. The refereeing was really not great. I'm still thinking about that Uyghur two-hand slash behind Stutzel's leg that, you know, should have been a game expulsion as far as I'm concerned. He didn't even get a 2 for that. But, you know, that's maybe me that's being biased a little bit. But anyway, so we ended up losing 3-0 in real life. And that's the last mention of real life I'm making, because that's the last time we're cut up. Alright, so Lukas Johansson has been put on waivers by the Capitals. Victor Arvidsson keeps fans on their feet all night. He had a hat-trick against the Stars. Alright, playing in Florida against the Panthers. Panthers are 32-15-6. That's very similar to the record that the Lightning had. They're third in the East. We are 1-0 against Florida. A 6-1 victory in Florida earlier this season. Of course, now we have to do it without Josh Norris. Ironically, Josh Norris came back in real life for this game. Now he's leaving in my universe for a month for this game. Alright. Oh dear God, why aren't we playing centers at center? You know what? It is what it is. Alright, so Anton Forsberg in net again after his nice game in Tampa Bay. Spencer Knight is going to be in net for Florida. And of course, go Sens. Let's make it another win. Oh, we lost 3-2 in Florida. Showed up a little bit better than we did in real life. We were outshot 33-30. Joe Thornton was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Artem Zub was the second star with 2 assists. And Owen Tippett was the third star with an assist. Alright, so Florida scored first in the first period. Then Igor Sokolov tied the game in the second from Artem Zub and Thomas Chabot. Then Florida took the lead back. It was 2-1 Florida after 2. We tied the game Oh, that one hurts. So we tied the game in the third period. Dylan Gambrell scored from Artem Zub and Brady Tkachuk, but then with 4 seconds left to go in the game, Huberto scored for Florida, gave them a 3-2 victory with 4 seconds left to go. And it is a 3-2 loss for the Suns. So we're not having a perfect month in March, I suppose. Oh, there's a few players on waivers. Let's see, Scott Mayfield, Maxim Mammon, Carl Hagelin, and Martin Ferk. I'm not going to pick those guys up. Alright, we have a day off, and then we're going to be playing today's real-life game in Arizona and see what's going to happen there. Alright, Paul Stastny has reached 500 assists in his career. With an assist against the Stars, Paul Stastny is 36 years old, and he is a 2.5 star player. Ryan Suter competed in 1,250 games in his career. That happened against the Jets in that same game. Didn't get a point. Ryan Suter is 37. He's still a 3-star player. Alright, we're getting ready to play against Arizona. Arizona is 23, 26, and 5. That's the first time we're playing them this season, so we're going to take a look at their lineup here, see what they're throwing at us. Well, they're not throwing former Ottawa Senator Ryan Dzingel because he is out with a torn rotator cuff. Other than that, they have a pretty healthy lineup. So it's Carter Hutton and Karnar in net, Gustis Bear, Moser, Capobianco, Chikron, Deneen, Strawman, and Ubushkin on D. Up front, they have former Ottawa Senator for 7 games or something, Alex Galchenyuk, Sonny Milano, Kraus, Donato Keller, Beagle Nashmaltz, Yannick, Geeky, Kessel, Wagner, Yaskin, and Barabanov. That's a takeable game, folks. Hopefully we win this. Oh boy. Yeah, we have Mason Shaw as our first line center. That's where we're at. Matt Murray is going to be in net for the Suns. Josef Karnar is going to be in net for Arizona. And of course, go Suns, because we want to win, right? And we lost 4-1. Not good. We were outshot 39-2. I hope it's not an omen or anything. Right, so we were outshot 39-21 in that game. Shane Gustis Bear was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Morgan Geeky was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Dmitry Yaskin was the third star with a goal and an assist as well. We actually scored first in this game. Artem Zub scored from Shane Pinto and Tim Stutzel. It was 1-0 Ottawa after 1. But then in the second period, the Coyotes scored 4 unanswered goals. It was 4-1 after 2. And of course, nobody scored in the third. We lost this game fair and square. Oh, I guess the Suns play tomorrow in Vegas. Alright, that's good to know. So we are going to have Sunday Aki in real life and in the game. James Neal has racked up 300 goals in his career. He had a goal against the Islanders. James Neal is 34 and a 2.5 star player. Vince Dunn is suspended in Seattle. He's going to miss 7 games. And Matthew Tkachuk has a great game. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Avalanche. Alright, so next game is going to be pretty tough. We're going to be playing against Vegas. Vegas is 31-15 and 9. We are 1-0 against Vegas. We won 5-4 at home against them earlier this season. Let's see if we can beat them again. Not going to be easy. Anton Forsberg starts for the Sens. Robin Lehner starts for Vegas. Go Sens! Come on, let's go back in the win column. And we lost 4-2, so that's 3 losses in a row. Not a great road trip so far. It started well with that win in Tampa Bay of all teams, but yeah. Alright, where we have outshot Vegas 33-28 in that one, but we ended up at the wrong end of a 4-2 game. Braden McNabb was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Tyler Ennis was the second star with a goal, and Riley Smith was the third star with a goal and an assist. Vegas scored 4 unanswered goals in the first period. We were down 4-0 after 1. Nobody scored in the second period. Then in the third, Drake Batterson scored from Dylan Gambrell and Brady Tkachuk. Then Tyler Ennis scored his 10th on the power play from Eric Brandstrom and Mason Shaw. 4-2 Vegas, the final score. Yeah, we're not getting enough offense. And we also need to stop giving up 4 unanswered goals in a period. That would probably help, you would think. Alright, so Mitsu Tkachuk signed an extension in Calgary for 3 more years. Oh dear God, he's gonna make $9.8 million per year. Wow. That's a little rich. Well, I guess he's having a pretty good season. He's over a point per game this year. Yep. That's the kind of money we're going to need to give to some of our players eventually. Alright, so we have a day off, and then we're going to be in St. Louis to play against the Blues. Right, Guillaume Brisebois has been put on waivers by San Jose. Austin Matthews extends his assist streak to 8 games, got an assist against Columbus. Alright, in St. Louis to play against the Blues. Blues have a really good season, 34-19-2. We are, however, 1-0 against the Blues this season. We did beat them 3-1 at home. We're on the road now. We don't have our first line center. Things are a little bit tougher in that regard. Alright, Matt Murray is going to be in net for the Sens. Jordan Binnington in net for St. Louis. And of course, go Sens! Oh, that's another loss, so we don't have a winning record anymore, and our playoff hopes are pretty much dead in the water at this point. So a 4-1 loss here on the road in St. Louis. We were outshot 41-24 in that one. James Neal, of all people, was first star of the game with a goal and 2 assists. Wallman was the second star with 2 goals, and Buknevich was the third star with 2 assists. Nobody scored in the first period. Actually, all of the scoring happened in the third, so it was 0-0 all the way into the third. Then St. Louis scored 4 straight goals, and then Adam Gaudette scored his 10th of the season from Cal Foote and Austin Watson with 1 minute and 4 seconds left to go in the game. If anything, all that did was preventing Binnington from getting a shutout. So a 4-1 loss here in St. Louis. So we've lost 4 straight games. That's definitely not ideal. Oh, Dries got suspended, so I saw that he had a boarding major against us. So he's going to miss 4 games. Good. Eric Alla, who's also in St. Louis, is back from suspension on his end. Mark Giordano played into his 1000th game in his career. Didn't get a point. It was against Toronto. Mark Giordano is 38, and he is still a 3-star defenseman. Austin Matthews in that game extended his assist streak to 9 games. He had a goal and an assist. In a big game for Chris Letang in Pittsburgh, he had 4 assists against the Panthers. we have 1 day off. Okay, so Austin Watson is got day to day. I wonder if he's the one that got boarded by the St. Louis player. Alright, so Colin Blackwell is on waivers, Jared Tenorti as well, Chris Terry, and Will Borgen. Duncan Keith played in his 1,250th game in his career. That was against Washington. Didn't get a point. Duncan Keith is 38 and he is a 2.5-star player. Red light stays on for Leon Draisaitl. He had 3 goals and an assist against Washington in that same game. And yeah, Blackwell's been put on waivers for the millionth time this season or so. All right, let's take a look at our... Yeah, Watson can't play. Pinto or Shaw can draw in. That's fine. We're good here. Don't need to do any drastic changes. Alright, so we have a pretty long home stretch here. Hopefully we can capitalize on that to get some wins here. Alright, so first off, we're facing against the Kraken, who just played in Toronto. Kraken is 20, 33, and 6. We are, however, 0-1 against them. We did lose in Seattle earlier this season. Alright, so Chris Dredger, former Ottawa goaltender prospect, is in net for Seattle. Anton Forsberg is in net for the Sens. And of course, go Sens. Oh, a 3-0 victory. All right, so a shutout. So we're back home. We avoided that thing that they say that, you know, a team that went on a long road trip comes back, it's more difficult the first game and everything. So we avoided that trope. And there you go. A nice 3-0 win. We outshot Seattle 32-19. Brady Tkachuk was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Thomas Chabot was the second star with an assist, and Dylan Gambrell was the third star with an assist. 17,000 people right on the dot in assistance for this game. Drake Batterson opened up the scoring in the first. That was an unassisted goal. It was 1-0 Ottawa after 1. Then in the second period, Brady Tkachuk scored from Thomas Chabot and Tyler Ennis. 2-0 Ottawa. And then in the third, Victor Mete scored short-handed. That was his 5th of the season from Nick Paul and Dylan Gambrell. 3-0 Ottawa, and that was the final score. A nice little game here for the Sens. I like it. Alright, so Brad Malone has been put on waivers, and so has Nathan Gerby. Good night for Max Pacioretty with Vegas. He had a hat-trick against Buffalo. Jeff Skinner extends his goal streak to 5 games. In that same game, he had a goal and an assist against Vegas. Austin Matthews' assist streak ended at 9 games. He did get a goal, too, against Arizona, but his assist streak ended. Claude Giroux played in his 1000th game in his career. That was against the Florida Panthers. Celebrated with an assist. Claude Giroux is 34 and he is a 4-star player still. Former Ottawa Senator Max McCormick, now playing in Calgary, is suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Matthew Tkachuk extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Lightning. And Alex Formenton is ready to come back to practice here. Right, so we have a day off, and then we're going to be hosting Chicago on a Saturday night. Right? Maybe it's afternoon, I don't know. But it is a Saturday. Alright, so Chicago comes in town with a 25-34-1 record. We are 1-0 against the Blackhawks this season. Kevin Lankinen's going to be in net for Chicago. We're going to go to Anton Forsberg, of course. He just got a shutout, so go Suns! Oof, we lost that one 5-2 at home. Not great. We outshot Chicago 47-36. Alex the Brinkat was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Caleb Jones was the second star with 2 assists. And Kevin Lankinen was the third star with a W and 45 saves. So we peppered their goaltender with many shots. We just couldn't score many goals. Alright, so Eric Brandstrom opened up the scoring in the first. That was his 10th of the season from Brady Tkachuk and Igor Sokolov. It was a 1-0 lead for Ottawa at that point. Then the dreaded period where we allow 4 straight goals happened. In the second, Chicago scored 4 straight goals. Then Connor Brown countered from Adam Goddett and Brady Tkachuk. It was 4-2 Chicago at that point. Then they added one more before the end of the period. It was 5-2 after 2. Nobody scored in the third, so 5-2 was the final score. A loss against Chicago. Right, Jacob Magna, has been put on waivers by Carolina. Leon Draisaitl lights the lamp in Edmonton. 3 goals and 2 assists against Tampa Bay. Alright, so we have a day off and then we're going to be playing Arizona again. This time it's going to be at home though. Oh, Norris ready to come back to practice already. That'd be awesome. Looks like he's eating a little bit faster than I anticipated. Alright, so Arizona in town. They are 25-28-5. We have lost 4-1 a few games ago in Arizona, so let's try to avenge that loss. Right, Josef Korenar's in net again for Arizona. We're going to go to Matt Murray in that one. Go Suns! And we lost 4-2. It's difficult without Josh Norris on my first line. Alright, Arizona outshot us 37-32. Jacob Chikron was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Nick Paul was the second star with 2 assists. And Phil Kessel was the third star with a goal and an assist. 15,650 people in attendance for that one. Adam Goddett opened up the scoring in the first from Nick Paul and Artem Zub. Then Arizona tied the game. Then Nikita Zaitsev scored from Nick Paul and Mason Shaw. Then Arizona tied the game again. It was 2-2 after 1. Then in the second period, Arizona scored, made it 3-2. They scored again in the third, made it 4-2. We also had a fight between Brady Tkachuk and Phil Kessel. Wow. I think Kessel probably got his ass kicked in that one. No offense to Kessel or anything, but I think a fight between those two guys, you would have to put your money on Tkachuk. Former Ottawa Senator Christian Yaros has been put on waivers by Calgary. Zdeno Chara might retire at the end of this season. He's 44 years old. Alright, we have a day off and then we're going to be hosting Columbus. Alright, Cody Kunik has been put on waivers. Dylan Sikora. Aaron Luchuk, who used to be in the Sens organization. Mark Michaelis. And Sheldon Dries. Austin Matthews extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal and an assist against the Stars. Injury puts Jamie Drysdale out of the lineup in Anaheim. He's going to miss 4 months. Evander Kane is back from his suspension with Edmonton. And Austin Watson is feeling a little bit better. Right, Columbus is in town. They are 27-29-3. That's good for 13 in the East. We are 0-1 against Columbus this season. Elvis Merzlikins is in net for Columbus. Anton Forsberg in net for us. Go Sens go, of course. That's another loss. We lost 3-2. All right, so yeah, we're not going to the playoffs, folks. We had a shot if we would have had an exceptional month of March. We are having an exceptional month of March, except it's an exceptionally bad month. Alright, so 3-2 loss to Columbus at home. We outshot Columbus 35-23. Max Domi was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Connor Brown was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Jack Roslovich was the third star with an assist. 17,000 people right on the dot in the attendance in Ottawa. Alright, so Columbus scored twice in the first period. Then nobody scored until the third period, where Artem Zub scored from Mason Shaw and Connor Brown. Then Connor Brown scored from Eric Brandstrom and Mason Shaw. It was tied at 2, but with a minute 16 left to go in the game, yet again we screwed up and we allowed the game-winning goal before this went to overtime, and it's a 3-2 loss. Alright, we have a day off and then we're going to be hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. Alright, so Cole Bardreau has been put on waivers by the Islanders and Paul Ledoux as well. Austin Matthews extends his point streak to 13 games. He had 2 assists against the Carolina Hurricanes. Tyler Seguin extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Habs. Oliver Bjorkstrand is hurt in Columbus. He's going to miss 3 weeks with a finger sprain. Austin Watson almost completely recovered. And Cole Bardreau plays on waivers by the Islanders, as we just saw. I'm not going to claim him. Alright, so the Flyers are in town. They are 29, 25, and 6. That's good for 11th in the East. We are 0-1 against the Flyers. It was a massacre in Philly. We had lost that game 7-1. Hopefully on home ice we can do better. But yeah, we're not having a very good month, so I'm not holding my breath. Plus, I can't hold my breath for very long anyway. I'm too old anymore. I could for quite a while when I was a kid. I grew up basically in a lake. I was in a lake all the time, but I grew too old for those kind of shenanigans. Alright, Carter Hart is in net for the Flyers. Matt Murray in net for us. Go Suns! Woohoo! We finally won a game. 5-3, the victory for the Suns over the Flyers. Alright, so we outshot Philadelphia 31-21 in that game. Drake Batterson was the first star of the game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Thomas Konechny was the second star with a goal, and Dylan Gambrell was the third star with 2 assists. 16,662 people in attendance for this game. Flyers open up the scoring in the first. They scored twice, actually. It was 2-0 Philadelphia after 1. Then they took a 3-0 lead into the second period. But then we finally opened up the machine. Adam Goddard scored on the power play from Thomas Chabot and Tyler Ennis. Then Drake Batterson from Nikita Zaitsev and Brady Tkachuk. Then Batterson scored his 15th. From Gambrell and Brady Tkachuk, it was tied at 3 after 2. Then in the third period, Shane Pinto scored his 5th from Tim Stutzel and Connor Brown. And then finally, Drake Batterson completed his hat-trick in an empty net from Zach Sanford and Dylan Gambrell. A 5-3 victory for the Ottawa Senators. Right, and we have one news. That's going to be to say that Batterson had a hat-trick. Alright, a good night for Drake Batterson. He had a hat-trick against the Flyers, as we saw. Oh, San Jose did pick Cole Bardreau off waivers. And Austin Watson is completely recovered from his day-to-day injury. So, yeah, we won at home, and then we, I guess, took the train, probably, all the way to Montreal. So Montreal is 22, 37 and 4. That's good for dead last in the East. We are 1-0 against the Abs this season. So go Sens. Anton Forsberg in net for us. Caden Primo is going to be in net for Montreal. Go Sens, go. Come on. Oh yeah, a 2-1 victory here in Montreal. So we still have a perfect record against the Habs. We outshot them 39-34. Victor Mete was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Caden Primo was the second star despite the loss. He made 37 saves. And Christian Dvorak was the third star with a goal. Right, so we scored twice in the first period. Brady Tkachuk from Igor Sokolov and Drake Batterson, and then Victor Mete from Mason Shaw and Nick Holden. It was 2-0 Ottawa after 1. Montreal scored in the second, and there was not a whole lot that happened after that. A 2-1 victory for the Ottawa Senators. At Colin Blackwell on waivers yet again, Jared Tinordi as well, Connor Carrick as well, and Gustav Olofsson. So those are names we have seen quite a lot on waivers. Tyler Seguin's point streak ended at 12 games. He didn't get a point against the Islanders. Austin Matthews extends his point streak to 14 games with a goal against Nashville. No stopping Bo Horvat. Oh, dear God, yeah. 4 goals and 2 assists for Horvat. Pretty good game against the Flames. McCormick is back in the lineup in Calgary after serving his suspension. Memorable night for Jake Gunzel. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against Arizona. All right, and again. There we go. All right, so we have 4 days off. And then we're going to be in New York to face off against the Islanders. Now, I believe in real life, the Sens are going to have a game or 2 that are rescheduled during that break due to all the COVID games that were reported or postponed. But in the game, my team has a little bit of a break right now. Ooh, Colin White is starting to feel better. That's good. Not a whole lot of news during my break. No news is good news, right? Yeah, absolutely nothing. I mean, there's games being played, but there's nothing worth mentioning in any of them. Looks like we have 3 games left in March here. Right, so Dan Renouf has been put on waivers by the Rangers. Austin Matthews extends his point streak to 15 games with a goal and an assist against the Devils. Vince Dunn's suspension ended in Seattle, back in the lineup over there. Anthony Richard has a great game. He had 4 assists against the Blackhawks. Formenton feeling better. Alright, the Islanders now that we're going to be playing. Islanders are 33-25 and 5. That's good for 10th in the East. We are 2-0 against the Islanders this season. Let's make it 3-0. I like perfect records against teams. Anton Forsberg is going to be in net for us. Ilya Sorokin in net for the Islanders. And, of course, go Sens go. Oh, we lost 3-0. Not a whole lot to talk about when I get shut out. The Islanders did outshoot us 33-25. Kyle Palmieri was the first out of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Brock Nelson was the second star with 2 assists. And Eli Tolvanen was the third star with an assist. Oh, there was a fight between Anthony Beauvillier and Dylan Gambrell, but that's pretty much all there is to talk about. We did not score. Alex Formenton is ahead of schedule. All right. And Ian Cole is going to miss 5 months with the Hurricanes. He has a fractured hip. See you next year, Ian Cole. 2 games left. All right, we're back home for a quick game against Florida, and then we're going back on the road to play in Nashville. All right, big game for Alex Ovechkin. He had a hat trick against the Buffalo Sabres. How many goals does Ovechkin has this season? 40. He's on his way to beat Gretzky's record. Not slowed down by COVID. There's no COVID in my universe. Alex Formenton on the edge of returning. That'd be great. We missed you all season. We missed your speed all season. Right, Florida's in town. They are 37-20-6. That's good for 5th in the East. We are 1-1 against the Panthers this season. Spencer Knight in net for Florida. We're gonna go with Anton Forsberg for that one. And go Sens go. We lost 3-1. Yeah, that's gonna be a losing season at this rate. Alright, Florida's outshot us 37-30. Verhaeghe was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Nick Paul was the second star with a goal, and Frank Vetrano was the third star with an assist. 17,000 people in Ottawa for this game. Florida scored first in the first period. Then they added 2 more in the second. It was 3-0 Florida after 2. Then in the third period, Nick Paul scored his 5th from Tyler Ennis and Austin Watson. 3-1, the final score. That's okay, I'm gonna make some moves in the off season. We're gonna... Ooh! Everybody's day-to-day now. I don't have any long-term injuries anymore. That's great news. Austin Matthews extends his point streak to 16 games. He got 2 goals against the Habs. There was no stopping Braden Point. He had a hat trick against the Red Wings, 3 goals. Oh, Ovechkin is suspended in Washington. He's going to miss 6 games. Oh, now that's going to hurt his chase to Gretzky's record there, getting suspended. That's not great. Now, before he got suspended, he still got a hat trick to scored 3 goals against the Devils, and that was 5 straight games with a goal for him. Dynamic passing leads to productive night for Cole Lind in Columbus. He had 5 assists against the Wild. That's pretty good. Dylan Dubé is suspended in Calgary. He's going to miss 1 game. Oh, Formenton is ready, I believe. He is. For the first time in a very long time, we're going to see Alex Formenton in the lineup. I'm going to send probably Sokolov back down. Mostly because he's one of the only ones that I can send down that doesn't have to clear waivers. Alright. We have a couple of days off, and then we're going to be playing in Nashville against the Preds. Zach Rinaldo has been put on waivers by the Leafs. Bad news for Florida. Aaron Ekblad is hurt. Oh, he has a second-degree MCL sprain. How long is he out for? 2 to 3 weeks. Not the end of the world. Should be back for the playoffs. Austin Matthews extends his point streak to 17 games. He had a goal and 2 assists in that same game against Florida. Strong night for Artemi Panarin. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against Buffalo. And Josh Norris is almost back. Right, 1 day off, and then we're playing Nashville. With Josh Norris almost completely recovered. Alright, so Nashville now. We are in Nashville. They are 34-26-7. We are 1-0 against Nashville. We beat them 2-1 at home earlier this season. Anton Forsberg is going to be in net for the Senators. UC Saros is going to be in net for Nashville. Go Sens! A 2-1 win in overtime for Ottawa, so we end the month on a good note. We were outshot 39-34 in that one. Brady Tkachuk was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Former Ottawa Senator Matt Duchene was the second star with a goal, and Anton Forsberg was the third star with 38 saves. Nobody scored in the first period. Then in the second, Nashville scored. Then in the third period, Victor Mete tied the game from Brady Tkachuk and Tyler Ennis. That went to overtime. Nobody scored in overtime. And then in the shootout, Tim Stützle scored, and Luke Kunin scored, and then a bunch of misses. And then the winning shootout goal was Thomas Chabot. All right. Austin Matthews extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Bruins. That was also 18 straight games with a point for him. Dylan Dubé is already back from suspension in Calgary, and Josh Norris almost back. Mika Zibanejad lights the lamp. He had a hat-trick against the Red Wings. Alright, so that's the scouting for this month. And Josh Norris is completely recovered. Perfect. Welcome home, Josh Norris. Gonna send down, let's see. Guess I'm sending down Shane Pinto, huh? Alright, it is March 31st. We're gonna go ahead and advance all the way to April 1st. Right, so there's quite a few more games in April than there usually is on the calendar. Reason is that this year there was supposed to be the Olympics, so the NHL calendar was built around that. So in Olympic years where the NHL players go or are supposed to go, usually, there's a 2-week break or so in February. And, those games are kind of played, in April instead. Usually an NHL season ends at, around April 12th to 15th usually. So there's going to be games past that because of that. Alright, so Austin Matthews extends his point streak to 19 games. He had an assist against the Jets. There was no stopping Dominic Kubalik in Chicago. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Panthers. The top-selling Ottawa jerseys for March: Matt Murray, Thomas Chabot, Anton Forsberg, Tyler Ennis, and Connor Brown. The development report, let's see. Okay, we didn't lose stats or ratings for anybody. Alright, no Ottawa Senators in the top sold jerseys this month. And the players of the month were Connor McDavid and Ilya Sorokin. Alright, so sadly we have dropped in the standings with a subpar month in March. We are now 13th in the East. We started 11th, so yeah, there's no playoffs for us this season. We are 12 points behind with, 15 games left to go. Not happening, I don't think. Alright, let's take a look at the standings in the West as well. Ooh, Montreal's had a decent month. They're not the worst team anymore. Seattle is. Let's take a look at our stats. It's not going to be incredible. We are not scoring many goals, which, you know, is pretty much the course for par for course for real life, because the Sens don't score many goals in real life either. So let's take a look. Our best player is Drake Batterson. He has 45 points in 65 games. Kitchuk has 41 in 64. Gambrell 34 in 59. Ennis 34 in 63. Stutzel 31 in 63. Thomas Chabot is our best defenseman, 29 in 59, and then it just goes down from there. Yeah, Chabot not dominant enough, I don't think, in this particular season. He can do better. Should be doing better, I think. Kitchuk, we expect more from. Batterson should be better than that. He was over a point per game when he got hurt in real life. Let's take a look at the entire league. The best goal scorer is Austin Matthews with 47 goals. Should reach 50 unless he gets hurt or something weird happens. The best passer is Leon Draisaitl with 58 assists. The best scorer is Austin Matthews with 95 points. Of course, we're nowhere near that. Alright, now I can look at the goaltenders, but we're not going to be in there for anything. So, yeah. Well, Anton Forsberg is there for the losses. 20 of them. So, yeah, we're not having a good season. I expect to kind of turn it around by next season. I'm going to make a few changes in the off season. For now, we kind of have to ride it out. So I'm going to go ahead and save the game for now. That's going to be it for me. I'm slowly going to get ready to watch the Sens game here in a couple hours. I'm going to kind of wind down and stuff. As usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in. And if you're catching this on YouTube later and that you like the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you folks next time. Thank you.